what the fuck will come from those people. You know, in 5 years they might be taking over the world already because they are just so ambitious about what they are doing. So it just people in general and knowing a lot of people is very, very good. So it creates, it's nice to have people that you can share ideas with, and also it's probably creating opportunities in the future and all this stuff. So
remember to talk with people. Like, don't be afraid of it. Like we are all kinda in the same boat here. Like no restrictions.
And I think like what's the main role of the organizers is to just try to make sure, or not make sure, but like, how do you say, try to secure that everybody is getting communication, that it's happening, that people are walking around going to check and speak, so there is like some connection already happening in between, and like seeing that the communication flow is going on there, that people are just not creating a group and staying in a corner and just speaking with their friends, and like maybe like try to get everybody like in the melting point. So and now we have the moment of silence when Jonas doesn't know what he should say next.
Kinda. I actually know what I need to say
This
next.
always happens.
Like, should we have like some extra like visitors hanging around here? So should we like invite more people on the couch? These are so awesome and comfy couches.
Could our producer get one from the audience? We have a live audience.
Yes, our producer.
From the back row there.
I think you, behind there, like at least like 300 meters. Yeah, you, exactly.
Yeah, the guy with the mustache.
Everyone.
I'm talking about you. Yeah,
from the audience.
Join the couch.
Just random person.
Welcome to your destiny.
Thank you.
What do you think about the journey that is GameJam?
Well, for me it's been quite an experience throughout the years. This is the third time I participate in this, and I still remember the first jam that I met you. I met Kim there, and we have remained friends, and we sing Bojo Iskarjala every time in the karaoke.
That's why like, I kind of started getting bored of nightclubs. That's like moment every time. So.
Yeah, all that started as a game jam, so I think that you have been going through it. But for me, as a person, as an outsider from the game industry, that I think that this idea is more than the game industry, it's bigger than the game industry. I also work in both of the places where I work. Creativity is kind of an important thing. And I think that this is, even though the skills that I learned, because I have also learned skills and how to use tools and so on, it's not maybe the most important thing for me in my day-to-day work. But I think that in this environment, what boosts is absolutely the creativity, and that's important for both of my day-to-day works, like very important. And yeah, then the idea that, because I think that also the restrictions are important. So when you feel that you are restricted and in constrained, like either in time, in resources, or well, in any way, I think that the creativity explodes, and then you try to find solutions and maybe stop being perfectionist. That is one of the illnesses of mine, and you just do stuff.
I started to think about this resource
Not
problem.
sponsored.
Yeah, like the beginning of the games industry on like this low hardware. When people had a vision, they had like the same kind of visions people have here at Game Jams to make this game, but they just had like some kilobytes, calculators, and then they need to be so creative just to get the vision through for them, because they are same kind of designers back then that thinks about what kind of experience I want to express, and they are so limited systems that they had. But it was so like they were doing some really cool things with those games back in the days, and I think that's why they are still kind of staying there because now you don't maybe many people have like a really good PC, and even if you don't like, you have really a lot of processing power, graphical power, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it gives like excuses a lot of the stuff. So.
Yeah, that's
it's really forgiving with the current tech.
Yeah, and that's why
We're spoiled.
Yeah.
In a sense.
That's
Or
why I
we can
also
be,
like
we want to be.
that there's this diversifier this year that is create a com game like in less than 64 kilobytes. And for that you really need to think like, this string is 10 bytes, you know, and get back to those times where it's like.
You can't use Unity. You can't use the first meta file is like 100
25. I think 25 megabyte is like the minimum.
Like
basic size.
Blank project.
So I think that the restrictions are also interesting. It's one of the interesting things from the game jams for me. Need to get back. In this case, it's time, but could be also if you go for this 64K game, like where the fuck can you run a com file and maybe write assembler or some shit like that and think about, and that can actually make you go forward. In many ways.
Going back to the core of things most likely isn't a stupid idea. So
no. And I think that a lot of the, in my opinion, this is a personal opinion, but a lot of the bad practices that many programmers have nowadays is that they come from this idea that everything is unlimited. Like you don't have to think about what are you storing in RAM anymore because now you have 16 gigabytes and nobody cares about that anymore. But when I started, I started as a kid. Like my computer didn't even have 1 megabyte of RAM. It was like something like 640K. So,
but it would be fun. Like you would have like the virtual machine. You have to make the game to like you have these specs and you have to get it running with this, and you have to you have to do the right
code with that.
Code with it and do the right decisions and try to make it work with that. So it would like give another level of doing the things.
And one thing saying like, first of all, we got people saying hello from USA. Hello, back to you.
Hey.
And that's a thing we forgot to even mention. You can ask us questions in chat. You can ask questions in Twitter. I guess we're trying to use the hashtag mitavattua without Scandic letters, mitavattua live. But now that I say it out loud, you probably don't get it because it's very Finnish word. But
that's where you need to up the game with this.
What
the raspberry?
Yeah, maybe
live.
What the raspberry live? So vattu is kind of like raspberry, right?
Yeah, it's
so let's just what?
It's kind of like a weird mismatch of making a swear word sound like.
It will be like that. That will be good now. I'm putting it in the chat even. And
we should put it on the screen.
Yeah, but that would require science.
Yes.
No, it actually requires.
It requires like putting a one layer text.
But we have to chat. But overall, like the point is that this is interactive, so you can ask us questions, you can comment, and now that I have like completely cut off everyone's flow, please restart your flow again.
Restart your engines.
Nice.
Who is watching the like Twitter if like is?
I'm trying to stalk it once I get my nice sip from my cold battery, which is really
Not
great.
Sponsored.
Not sponsored, but battery call us.
I don't know if they are watching from somewhere else, they may not even know that battery is an energy drink. So.
Yeah, that's true.
It's an energy drink. Don't get too hyped up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open my next Coke here.
Battery liquid.
Yes.
Battery acid. Keeps me going.
Yeah. We were talking about this.
Oh.
Yeah. Do we have questions? Or
we
something?
do.
Yeah, we actually do. What's the temperature there?
So let's see the live count.
Yeah, we
don't
don't go out and check. We have mobile apps for that.
Currently,
it's too cold outside.
It is 0 Celsius, and I don't know how much that is in Fahrenheit, but
check it.
It's some other amount.
It's like 70 something.
But it's in the point of water freezing. So.
Point
that's
of water.
That's a good point.
Not the boiling point.
But don't be fooled by this zero, because this week we were at minus 23 Celsius at the beginning.
We have lots of.
That's why it was so cold.
Temperature is going like.
Yeah, I was like running around in my summer clothes, and that was kind of like, I was like 0 Celsius is kind of Finnish midsummer. So we just suddenly got minus 23, and then
it's
32
Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Yeah. You don't need to know things, because you can always ask chat.
The internet is always right.
But there was
another question. And what game were you thinking of making? So which one of us are making games? You and David.
David.
You and you.
Tell about your project.
So briefly about your games.
You can start.
I can.
David has been talking.
I have been talking about the game already for like 20 minutes.
Okay, I am not checking the Twitter. So, I guess the game we are making, how do you say it in a nutshell? Well, I won't even try. So, we had this idea. We started doing some automaton science. We started to analyze the heck out of automatones and the sounds they make. We have oscilloscopes and everything. We have like a team with 2 scientists and me, who is not a scientist. And we are trying
to
make.
You want to be one?
I'm a wannabe scientist. But we have the idea of trying to make like a party game, sort of like the Jackbox TV, who knows those, where we have some stuff on the big screen, and then you are allowed to join into the room with your mobile device or your computer or, well, your internet device. And then on the screen, the game will start, and it will ask one person who has joined, pitch please, which is also the name of the game, and then it starts recording, and you can use your automaton or whatever instrument, but of course we prefer automaton, and you play a little melody, less than 10 seconds, and then it will be played on the big screen. This is what was played, and then everyone else has to play it with their perfect hour-made automaton emulator on their touch screen, because it's the similar concept of playing it. You have to like press a string sort of and go up and down to get sounds up and down. And we will use science to measure who gets closest to the right pitch, and they will be played in unison, and we can hear the sad flute versions of the stuff played. And it will be great. And the twist we are having is that we are using PHP to make it. Just so it wouldn't be too easy. That will be the way I am trying to capture the possibility to try to get around technical limitations, because I got into computers and stuff too late, because my dang parents had me too late. I couldn't affect it. I'm too young.
Couple of years.
But so that was my idea, not in a nutshell. It was like in a plate.
Shell.
Yeah. Full plate armor.
Not in a 3-course meal.
That was in like a dinner setup.
I can be more brief, because my idea is really 10 times more simple. So basically in my game we are placing the player as a router, because routers transmit information, so that's the connection with the theme. And yeah, you have different missions, so you have to discard packages, send to different outputs based on the load of the outputs. Now you have to filter according to service, because it seems that we are fighting for net neutrality, but somebody wants to take it away. And so now you can be the router that favors some service over the other. And also there's gonna be DOS, so the packages will increase the speed, and that's it.
You will have to tweet that to FCC. I really want to see that.
And yeah.
Do you think this is fun?
This is what you're actually causing.
And actually, hopefully I am able to create a build for WebGL, and it will be online, hopefully. And yeah, that's basically the idea of the game. And yeah, I don't know if I forget anything. That we are just using the standard unit.
Modern day phone operator, you could say.
Yeah.
And yeah, the idea is to we have of course got some inspiration from things like Papers, Please. So the idea is to create this cognitive load that becomes bigger and bigger. So you need to pay attention to many things and many places on the screen that are distant, and so it becomes very difficult. So we hope. Let's see if it's interesting at all, the final product. So
I've been doing play testing on that game, and it seems very awesome at the moment.
Yeah, it was really fun. I tried it too.
Yeah.
Overall, you really should just check the Joensuu side games once they come out. Because
great. Again, a shameless plugin.
Shameless plugin.
By Joensuu.
that's what we do.
Shameless nutshell.
Yeah, I
Are we
guess
like
this
sellouts in internet terms?
this comment is. I guess this is for the PHP part of it.
Yeah.
Making the game. They're using Unity in Chicago. But that sounds
makes-
like a great game.
But more like using Unity. I should have thought of that in making games.
No.
I actually wanted to avoid Unity, but it was impossible. So I came with the idea of using some HTML, JavaScript framework,
Oh yeah.
but no fucking way.
But Unity is like way too nice. They give like so much assets.
Yeah.
They give so much
Yeah,
stuff for
it
you
is-
for this week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like Unity is giving all these assets, links down below, and you're like, okay,
There's many things.
I can probably just take everything
Well,
and just put it in a project, and there's the game. That would be actually a good jam game, yeah.
Then you can do more
Yeah,
networking.
it would be like a fun game. You do a minimal amount of coding yourself. Just take like asset store blocks and stuff like that, and just put them there and be like,
That could be a nice challenge.
Yeah,
like diversify. Only use assets from the asset store. Don't code anything yourself.
I did nothing myself in this game. Thank you, all these people. And the list is like
project was made without a keyboard.
yeah.
Just drag and drop.
That should be
Yeah,
a
drag and
diversifier.
drop, yeah.
You're not allowed to use. Okay,
Use a
you can
keyboard.
use keyboard for filtering, but not for the actual game making.
That would be funny, like
not a
because
single
you
line
want
of
to
code
change
was
some
given.
values or something, and it's like no. You can you use the keyboard from the virtual keyboard?
Yeah, operating system, because you need to name something, but like it's too clunky to actually like program.
Yeah.
So it's
No
like
touchscreens.
But actually, if programmers started using that, maybe they would think more about their functions, and get them in a tidy space. If they had to use the virtual keyboard.
We should start coding like this. It should be like,
Asset flip diversifier.
Oh yeah, asset flip, yeah.
I think that the
Maybe,
guys at
maybe
Unity.
asset flip jam. How many same games can we make during a single weekend with different assets?
Yeah.
Or the other way around, like making the
It's gonna
same.
be in Joensuu first time.
different
Yeah,
games
cool.
with the same set of assets.
Yeah.
You get fixed assets.
That would be
You
quite
have to use
awesome.
all of
There's
this.
two different jams now, so same games with different assets and different games with same assets.
And then like there will be even the trailer. It's same, but different. Different, but same. I don't even remember how the speech went, but it was funny. Some people will get the reference.
Same, but different.
I didn't, but I laughed anyway. Probably because I only slept 3 hours in the 6 hours in the past 2 days. And
Yeah.
get your sleep, guys. It really helps.
Yeah, if you are not an organizer, like you are a non-organizer, you have like no excuse. Sleep.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah. Just do it. Yeah.
It's the best debugger. To sleep is the best debugger.
Yeah. Yeah, it works. But it's like I was so tired. It does. I think it kind of has to do with Game Jam, because many people get tired here because it's long days. People are doing at least like you are streaming here for like this 7th hour or.
Yeah, and there are like bright lights and
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I haven't been developing anything, and like, I think I got to sleep like after 4 a.m. Almost like 5 a.m. still, and I was like completely wrecked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning, I was like, no, how? I slept like 6 hours. This is not possible. How am I this tired?
And
But this was like tiredness should also maybe be it's a topic, because one of the funny things at this event is like, okay, people should sleep, but that's cool.
Yeah.
But if they don't, it's bad, but it can get quite funny when people are like at that moment. But like today, I was trying to teach this woman to program these basics of Unity. And then I just got lost in the process, and I started making this game where I had just made the character that's just doing like this twitching motion, and I was adding like puffs and stars coming out of its ass, and it was flying and then I added some weird sounds, and I wanted to make a pitch change like for every sound I was making. I'm actually the main organizer. I wasn't jamming, I was just getting lost because I was so tired.
Yeah, you can't jam.
Yeah, I can't
jam. Jamming was to be done.
Yeah, I wasn't jamming, I was just showing, helping her out. Yeah. So yeah, but then I ended up in the puff like thing coming there. And I was just laughing for like 20 minutes. I was just doing the Unity like audio source with the pitch, and I had like a sound of like, actually it was a role play. We did some voice acting the last week for another project we were working on, and I was just taking the sound of Rope and laughing and doing like pitch bends like yeah, and I was just laughing for 20 minutes, and then these guys who have actually been sleeping, they're just looking at it like, what the fuck is happening here? And then they just start laughing, and they're like, it's like I'm being like sympathetic here.
And it's even worse because you are next to the Morse code heroes guys, so they're like all the time like beep 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 beep.
After the jam, it's gonna wake up at night.
But I really want to play that game.
Yeah, I think we have some fun games to play tomorrow from the side. And actually, the jam has been quite like when some of my first jam, I was stressing shitloads. Yeah, I was like, the goal oriented. Nobody told us how to jam. There wasn't these cool live streams that we could watch back in the days where people are just like, hey, I've been doing this for a long time. Here's some things you might don't want to do, because we've done those things. And so in that sense, it was we had to do some mistakes there because nobody told us what was right and what was wrong.
So,
mistakes were made.
But I think that almost everybody pushes too hard in the first game jam. Like we were there with our first game that we were together and in the same group, and it was like no, and I was like sweating, like this anime drop coming here, and at the end it's not that important that you get to something like.
It's the feeling that you have to prove
but
yourself.
I'm quite convinced. I'm not gonna like shameless plugs here or anything, but because of the kind of unstressful environment and people like seeing the other things of the jam, we might have a chance that they actually will make games, because when people get stressed, they start to panic, and when they panic, they make shitty decisions and very fast. Shitty decisions. So you make several shitty decisions in a row without thinking, and then you make just like shit pile up. And usually it ends up with a pile of shit. So but now when it's like people are not, it doesn't seem, it's kind of like feeling like there's no tension here. It's like everybody's having a good time and enjoying their time and making the games and trying hard. But nobody's like really caring about what's the end result. We're having a great time anyways. So probably, I'm not gonna say for sure, but we might have more actually finished projects this year. That could be like that they actually get to some point, because like we are not panicking and making bad decisions and being like tense, because that creates like offensive environment and all this stuff. Sometimes it shouldn't create that, but you can get, when it gets tense, somebody starts yelling like or something like this, and it's just kills everybody's motivation.
But I see a lot of balance also, like nobody's like really stressed. Which is kind of curious, considering that we have here quite many newcomers.
Fun fact, this is my first time kinda jamming. I think I was here last year or the year before that, but now I'm actually making a game, and it's gonna be the best game. Even though
no shameless plugs here. Can you tell the name of the game? Spartacus.
Oh, you're making Spartacus, okay.
It's gonna be like the best game, even though we are just a team of two, and we are taking some breaks every now and then, and drinking beer and going to sauna and
No,
even
we
sleeping,
don't drink alcohol here.
Not in Finland.
Yes, we only have juice.
Yeah, actually.
And energy.
You actually do have juice.
Yeah.
But what I need to tell to Leo is about the attitude is amazing.
Yeah.
You should always make the best game.
Yeah.
And like you're good at pitching. Like you're believing in yourself. So keep that going.
Yeah, it's like really easy to believe in Spartacus because it's actually going to be like the best game.
Why are you
honestly,
Why are you laughing?
Like I didn't even realize you were there. I was thinking like, how long has he been there? How long did you stay there? Because like I was just like, what? I just suddenly looked at the screen and I was, have you been there for 20 minutes?
I came here like, I don't know, 2 minutes ago.
Okay.
It's not been that long.
Yeah, you're not hallucinating, kid.
He's there.
Yeah, but you know, like, I don't have any self-confidence whatsoever, but you know, it's like you just have to like believe in Spartacus because it's gonna be so great.
From what I hear, you really should try our pitching game.
Yeah.
Because there we even ask you to pitch, please.
But like funny thing is like he's talking about the best game called Spartacus, but we actually have a guys named their game Best Game, and it's their guys game making the online multiplayer. So does Spartacus have online multiplayer?
Maybe someday, yeah.
During this jam, during this jam, will it have online
It's
multiplayer?
someday tomorrow.
If
should be.
Spartacus doesn't have online multiplayer, then it means that online multiplayer shouldn't like even be there.
Yeah, it shouldn't exist. Yeah,
That's the industry standard.
yeah.
Spartacus.
Nobody wants to play online games.
Doesn't
Ever.
belong with Spartacus.
Okay.
Spartacus
So you know,
is a solo
check the entries from Joensuu side. They will be amazing.
Yeah,
Leo, do you want to be a guest on this stream? Because
Yeah,
you kind
there's
of became a
room
guest
Yeah, we
already.
had one guest,
if,
but he's
can you
gone
promise
now.
me one thing if you're a guest
Maybe
here?
he comes back.
Let's speak about game jamming and not just Spartacus. Like we already got the point that it's gonna be the best game. We all believe you, and we are very happy that you're making because we want the best game on our side.
We could talk about the game jam if the game jam is only about Spartacus.
Oh, okay, just go somewhere else. You already
okay,
give your point here, so yeah, let's have Leo on board.
do shuffle this way.
I'll jump there.
we are shuffling.
Now I am the master of the computer.
So Leo, what were you saying? It's your second game jam?
Yeah, I think I was here 2 years ago, but
You're not sure if you were here before.
yeah, I think it was last year or the year before that. But like, I was here for like 4 hours, you know, did some first design, but then I left.
Yeah. Why did you leave that then? It is actually good that you came. We want to hear why people leave from game jams after 4 hours.
I was working here already,
Yeah.
On the. So like, I'm making games, you know, daily.
Yeah.
So like, maybe it's good to have a break on the weekend.
Yeah. That's a clever strategy.
You know, now I'm studying something totally different.
Yeah.
I'm studying fashion design.
Oh.
So like, now it's fun to come here.
Yeah.
And you know, it's actually, you know, this is taking a break instead of like doing more work.
Yeah. But I think like it's also like probably like it should be still a break even though you're making games because you can make like because in a work environment you're working in a different like focusing on different things. There's tight deadlines.
Yeah,
There weren't.
it feels.
Yeah, there were.
It feels.
Okay. Leo, you have won this game already. You don't need to beat us anymore. Spartacus won.
Yeah, but like,
Here's the helmet.
Oh.
Yeah, you won. You're now the throne
But,
champion.
yeah, you get the.
I get the mini throne.
You get the.
The Padawan throne.
For the one, Leo is now
But I have to say it feels like a break.
yeah.
I program every single day.
But you're organizing now.
Yeah, I'm organizing now, but the couple of last years, it's always been like a break because you get to do something entirely different. And it's like you have this time slot, you're gonna do it in this time, and it's refreshing to do something else.
Yeah.
You have like blank slate, and you're like, okay.
And it's like even if we have a good community here in our game scene and all the people working here, it's still like completely different because there's so many faces you see like annually, maybe, or not even annually. You see guys who you don't see like maybe in 2 years, or you see guys that you have never seen before. Yeah. So it's like for me it's like a fresh breath of air, anyways. And now actually I'd say it's my, of course, my most experienced jam, and I'm doing something completely different than I've been doing. Sorry, during previous jams. But still, it's like for me, it's like been a very good jam, and I think it was a good idea that we got a big organizing team. Yeah. That nobody needs to like stress. Even the organizers can, okay, we have things we need to get done, and we got involved in a lot of stuff like this whole streaming and all the stuff, which has been very cool. Yeah. But in that sense that nobody needs to take, like, there's not just one guy who just needs to take care of everything. Yeah. I don't think that's the way you should go with you just get like a big organizing team.
And you
there's
share the
enough
responsibility.
Yeah. And also for the jammers, that there's many people that are like kind of the guys you can go to. It already is a community. It's like we have like 5 organizers and 3 organizing jammers, or how many. So it's a big team. So there is already like 8 guys that should be like welcoming, and that the guys you can go speak to and ask questions. So it's not just one guy who's like, I've been here working for 20 years in this company. I'm trying to be very welcoming here, and that can happen because like the people have these meters, but now we have